This program is brought to you in part by the Renewable Fuels Association. Ethanol, it's here, it's today, it's America's fuel, so you'll want to stay tuned and learn a lot more. Also with us, Ricardo Engineering. You're going to hear from a couple of folks at Ricardo that will surprise you at the product that not only is coming down the pike, but is already on the streets of the world. Ricardo, a global engineering solutions company. I'm Bobby Likis, back with your calls, back with our guest after this. Don't go away. We're going to kick off the show, and with me is Kelly Davis, who's the Director of Regulatory Affairs for the Renewable Fuels Association. Kelly, this is not the first time we've shared the mic over the last couple of days, but it's the first time we've shared the mic on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. So I want to first welcome you officially to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you.
Can get a better price, as I understand, because the wholesale price of gasoline with ethanol is lower than it would be otherwise.
Yeah, studies we showed for 2011 showed on average across the nation the wholesale cost of a gallon of ethanol was $1.09 lower than the wholesale cost of gasoline. And of course the consumers would have seen this savings right at the pump.
Kelly, don't you think that just the fact that we have an alternative, you know, there's a solution. Walmart, whether or not you shop at Walmart, it's been proven that the prices that Walmart provide products to save the average American $2,000, whether they shop at Walmart or not. Mm-hmm. It saves them $2,000 per year just because it lowers the overall cost of the same products and or goods that could be sold or bought elsewhere. So to that end, mm-hmm. and this is not a stretch, but it's certainly a great point, I think. To that end, the same scenario works with blended ethanol fuels because just the threat of having an alternative.
Yes, it does.
Now, I don't know what that's doing for the folks in California. As I understand, 476, San Diego, LA, some areas bumping $5 a gallon. What do you think it'll take to get consumers' attention so that they will understand the need that we have in this country for alternative fuel resources?
Well, I'm sure those consumers today that are driving by those gas stations that see those plus $4.50 a gallon fuel are wondering why it's so high. And the reason it's high is we've had just a refinery disruption, and plus they're changing what they call the season of the volatility for the gasoline. So the gasoline changes, and then they had a refinery problem. All of a sudden, you get this dollar increase in the price of gas. Well, ethanol is readily available. We've actually curtailed our production a little bit. We could readily supply California and get E15, and since E15, which is 15% content of ethanol, has been approved for automobiles 2001 and forward. So California could be using E15 to help keep those price shocks a little more steady.
So how can we set the politics aside, just temporarily, whether you're left, right, or in between, and then look at the facts?
We could mention the policy. We do have a federal policy in this country called a Renewable Fuel Standard. And the Renewable Fuel Standard was signed into law by President Bush in 2007, which does increase the renewable content of fuels through 2025.
And as I understand, the past 9 presidents have all been on board with with renewable fuels and with reducing our nation's dependence on foreign oil.
It's a very simple thing to see. It's energy, it's domestic security. It's very easy for politicians. We're really non-denominational in the political arena. We have always, Democrat, Republican, coming up, the Romney team, the Obama team, they support ethanol.
It's easy for some to see. It's not easy for all to see.
And that's why we're here today, Bobby.
That's exactly why we're here today.
We're starting an education and outreach campaign to show America with our E15 launch that ethanol is good for their fuels.
We're going to get you back a little later.
So with EBDI, what we've done is we've got an engine that is really downsized, getting high efficiencies, but then we've provided this huge torque reserve. Again, we're talking about an 8,000 pound truck here, a GMC Sierra. We've got 900 newton meters of torque available by using boosting technologies, as well as using the high octane properties of ethanol, as well as EGR cooled EGR.
E10 is currently, which is 10% of volume in the gasoline, it is currently approved for all cars in the U.S., 1980 models, I think, and forward. Even classic cars can handle E10, but for 2001 plus model year cars, we're pretty excited that the EPA has approved E15, which is 15% content in the fuel. So according to the Renewable Fuel Standard, which is federal law, we will have to constantly increase renewable content in the most economical and the most highest octane and the cleanest fuel for your air. Available right now is our domestic ethanol.